We are back here on Girl Talk. Peggy White has joined us from the South Carolina Repertory Theater, and you've got an exciting event coming up to talk to us about, or an opening, really.
Opening, yes.
This week.
This week,
yes.
No time to spare. We're doing a play called Tea at 5. It's a one-woman show about Katharine Hepburn.
Awesome.
Great actress.
Yes, and I am playing her to the best of my ability. And she's 31 in the first act, where she is hoping to be cast as Scarlett O'Hara in Gone with the Wind.
Interesting.
Yes, fighting for that role. And then
is that true? Did
it
she
is
fight for that
true.
role?
Oh
okay.
yes, yeah. She very much wanted the role, and even actually did a screen test for it. And she usually refused to do
Was
screen
she
tests.
31 when she? Okay.
Yes.
So Vivian Leigh, who was like way younger, got.
I can't remember how old Vivian Leigh was, but I do know that the big upset for her, besides not getting the role, was that Vivian Leigh wasn't. No one knew her. She wasn't a star.
A box
she wasn't even. She said she wasn't even. She's not even an American.
She was after that.
Yeah. And then in the second act, she's 76. Sort of reflecting
quite
that
a transformation.
So you have a cast of thousands?
Thankfully, I just play one person.
And there's only one person in the play.
Yes.
So you're
What
the only
about
one.
makeup? Do you have someone who does? I mean, I would think that would be a huge part of what you do.
How long does it take?
I don't know yet. I'll be doing myself. For the transformation in the second act, we're not going for, there's not going to be any
prosthetics.
No prosthetics. I mean, I'll put my hair up the way she did and change the makeup slightly, but not age-wise. Just, she kind of goes from false eyelashes to like light blue eyeshadow.
What about her vocal tonality?
Her vocal,
she's very distinctive.
Very distinct. I've been listening to her quite a bit and watching her movies. Yeah. And I know that the accent that she works with it's called a mid-Atlantic dialect, and it's really the dialect that all the actors and actresses were trained in the studio system back in the day.
How does it sound? Be careful. Be here. Trust
you might do that. It's closer to British, but it's why and been instead of been. So it's
is it more of a formal English?
It's more formal, but it sounds closer to British, but it just doesn't go all the way there.
I noticed that in the old movies, don't you, where that is the dialect that seemed to be prominent.
Yes.
And it's interesting to watch how it phased out in like the 60s when things kind of were
it's kind of everything is very heightened and mannered, and then as like Marlon Brando comes into play, everything the language gets muddled and more realistic.
So it's a story of her life, or is it a story of?
It takes place in her Connecticut home, and so that is a big piece of it. How she loves this place; it's her kind of place of solace,
refuge.
And in the second act, there's a hurricane in 1938, and it washes their home completely away. So they rebuild the home, and she talks a little bit about that. She talks about Spencer Tracy. Oh, wow. The exciting thing within the play is that this is the first time she's ever talked to anyone about Spencer Tracy.
What are the challenges of actually acting someone who's real? I mean, it's not like you can put your own character in there. You are actually trying to emulate.
Right. Well, the challenge is that without fail, people will
judge it.
Go into comparison.
Right. Okay. That makes
so
sense.
I can't. Someone asked me the other day if I was trying to do an imitation or more trying to just embellish, not embellish, but sort of inhabit. And I don't want to go for an imitation because
you can't.
I can't. I'm not going to win on that. Right. So I just try to get into her spirit and her essence. She's such a personality.
And boy, this is a goofy comment, but I have such a Saturday Night Live moment. Just imagine.
Exactly.
Like a spoof.
Well, because isn't that what they do?
Yes.
I mean, they take someone like Sarah Palin or someone like that.
Yeah. We've actually used Sarah Palin as an example because they'll do the spoof on Saturday Night Live, and then Julianne Moore played her on a film on HBO called The Game Change, and she. She's like spot on. and you kind of forget that
it's not.
Julianne Moore.
Well,
I hope people forget
I was gonna say,
it's
I'm
me
sure.
trying,
Yeah.
and
Well, hopefully
just
the
listen to
story,
the story.
yeah,
And once
they
you get into it.
mesmerized in what's happening.
Yeah, she's. I mean, if I use her, as an example, and just try and go into her spirit, then I can let go of all of the specifics, whether I'm spot on or
Right.
not.
Who directs you? How does all that work? Is someone actually watching you, directing you?
Isn't it
sort
your
of?
husband?
Oh yes, my husband
That would be
is,
my husband,
he's
yeah.
assisting. The director is Pat Haskell, and she's
Okay.
the artistic director and owner of the theater. So I have the two of them in the room, and sometimes it's challenging because there's like two people.
This is what
she's
shouting things out
boss,
to me
yeah.
in the house. But
Now,
yeah,
where
there's-
do you live? Do you?
I live here in Hilton Head Plantation.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But from
Cool.
you lived in New York.
I did, yes. We moved down here to work for South Carolina Repertory Company almost 5 years ago from Brooklyn.
But you guys have really grown a lot too in the diversity of some of the things you do.
I think so. I hope so. I know that Blake's the associate producer, and it's been a big deal to him to work with the local community and just get them more
Have you
involved.
grown the following? Because I do know from being on Girl Talk, I think we brought a lot more exposure too.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
we're so thankful
Certainly,
for that.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk really quickly where and when.
Sure. The play runs May 1st through May 13th.
Okay.
And it's at South Carolina Repertory Company, which is on Beach City Road, just past the Hilton Head Airport.
Oh, I love it. That'll be a lot of fun. We're going to take a quick break and come right back here on Girl Talk.
Girl Talk is brought to you by J. Banks Design, The Greenery, Stoneworks, Custom Audio Video, and by Island Tire and Automotive Services. Please support these businesses who make our program possible.